Hello everyone, so here we have an 18-ton log splitter. I've had reports that some people are breaking the little hexagon black valve that goes up to the valve, and I'm going to show you how to replace that if you've broken it. So what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to take off of this guard using an 18mm socket. So now that guard is loose, I can remove it. Next thing I'm going to do is take off the handles. So now I'm going to take off the handles using a 13mm spanner or socket. On the top one, we will require a 13mm socket. On the bottom, a 12 and a 13. So now I'm going to put a 12 on this side and a 13 here on this side. So what you're going to have to do is this bottom bolt you're going to have to pull through. The spring causes it to come out slowly. There we go, I have it out. Now I'm going to use a 12mm on the top to undo these top 4 bolts of the cover. So I'll just loosen them off so I can undo it with my finger. Right, they're out. So this black bar is going to have a little pin like this in it. What you want to do is remove that pin now this is loose, and that should slide out. That cover's now off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo these pipes from the valve with an adjustable spanner. Some of them are on pretty tight. That one's come off very easy. So what I'm going to do is take that off. Now you may have some oil come out of the top. You can try and plug it, or what I do is I just get a cable tie and cable tie it to the side up high so nothing runs out. And the same again with this one. Now you want to undo this one as well. There's not much room under here. Bit of oil coming out of there. So let's just bend that back round, cable tie that as well. Next, what you want to do on the top here, you'll have some squares where the cover normally goes on. I usually use an adjustable spanner. Put it onto there. Now you're going to have to find somewhere to hold on the machine. Might be a bit harder to round side in. Turn. As you can see, the whole pipe's coming out with it. Now it's loose, I'll do it by hand. And that's off. Now, so some customers have snapped theirs in there, so you have to buy yourself one of these easy outs. Now, when it's snapped in there like this, you buy your easy outs, put it in the top, and keep twisting to the left as if you're unloosening it. And you can do this with a 19mm socket and turn. Keep turning it to the left and it will grip and pull your broken bit out. So your broken bit will be here, stuck on the thread, and that brings it out. So what you're going to want to do is put this into the vise on one of the blocks. Now my vise is pretty loose, I need to tighten it up, but what we're going to do is we're going to turn this pipe and bring it out. There we go. And that's out. So now what I've done is I've cleaned off most of the PTFE tape. I've got new PTFE. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it 22 times. So I'm going to put it on, facing that way. So when you tighten up the pipe, the PTFE tightens the right way. If you do this the wrong way, the PTFE will just all come out and jam. So I'm going 23 times. And now I'm just going to go around with my finger to make it all nice and tight. Now I'm going to do the other side. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is make sure everything's clean in here. You've removed anything, any old PTFE. Obviously there's going to be oil in here. And what we're going to do is going to put it onto the ram first. So what we're going to do is start turning with your fingers. Make sure you don't cross thread this. As you can see, it's tightening up my fingers. Should get quite tight. And we're going to do it up the spanner, adjustable spanner now. It's getting tighter. Okay, so that's very nice and very tight. And now we're going to put the valve on. Okay, so now you want to make sure everything's nice and clean in this thread as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop that over the top. Make sure you don't cross thread this. Start trying to turn it so it bites the thread. Nice and straight. Haven't found the thread yet. Okay, now it's on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it by hand until I can't anymore, and I'll use the spanner. Now I'm going to use my adjustable spanner. I'm going to do this very tight. It's almost done. It's nice and tight. Now we have to connect the pipes back up. No PTFE tape required for these pipes. I'm just going to do it so it's nice and tight. I'm going to put the right pipe on. Now the left pipe. And tighten them both up. Okay, now the pipes are all back on. What you're going to want to do is put the valve and everything cover back on. Sorry, it's that way. And what you want to do is put this little black pipe on first, really. So now I'm going to put the cover on, the sticker this side. What you're going to want to make sure is that's nice and straight, that groove. Line that on top. Don't put the bolts in yet because it will help with putting this in. Now the black bar, you want to slide through. Now you're going to have to put this pin back through that bar. And we just give it a small wiggle round until you see it drop through. There. Now you're going to want to tighten these bolts up on top, which I have here. Get them all in before tightening them all up. Okay, now use your 12mm socket to tighten them all up. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to get your handles. Put that there so it doesn't fall off. Okay, so you're going to have to put the spring in. You're going to put it in this way. So I'm just going to move these handles so they're out my way. And it goes in here like this. It's going to be hard to put the bar in. You want to put it through the handle, bottom bit, the bottom hole, through the first right side of the spring, through the other side of the cover, and that's it. You see it come through. Now put that there. And then just go ahead and tighten the top ones up with just a 13mm spanner or socket, it's your choice. Don't over tighten them because you won't be able to move the handles. Now you're going to use your 12 on the side of the head of the bolt, the long bolt, and the 13 on the nuts. And tighten. Now don't over tighten this because you won't be able to move the handles. Okay, and that is all rebuilt now. Obviously you have to put your cover back on, your guard, and it will all be secure. And you know, if you need anything, just contact me at jamesblacktools@gmail.com.